All right, today I'm gonna work on a 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn. I'm going to be installing rock lights. It's gonna be 2 per wheel well, total of 8 lights. I have already installed the front ones. I'll walk you through that process. These specific lights do not have a switch. They're just ran off of a app on your phone. So I did not have to worry about drilling into the cab and mounting a switch anywhere. So I will not be showing you that process, but I can show you how to install the lights themselves. So coming down here on the driver's side, you will need to remove this bolt, here, and there's a little pull pin here. Pop that out. These are all 7mm. And there is another bolt. There's another pull out tab right there. Another bolt here. Another bolt there. And they are all the bolts are 7mm. And then there's one more pull pin right here in the center. Once you get that pulled down, you can drill your hole for your wire to go through. So you'll need a bigger bit. Drill that hole. And then just use the 2 holes on your rock light to drill your 2 holes. Get your bolts in, bolt them in. And then once you get those done, you can run your wires up to your control panel however you want to run them. On this application, I just ran them together and zip tied them in a bundle and just had enough wire to run it to the panel where they all hook into, and I can show you that. So right here, I've got these 2 right here go down to this wheel well, and then these 2 here wrap around the fuse box and bundle up right here. And they go up and underneath your plastic radiator cover. They go all the way across there. And they're tied right here. And they go down into this wheel well. And on this side, same bolts, same push pin there, bolt here, bolt there, and there's a push pin here and here. Same process on this side. But yeah, I just ran the wires up, tied them here, ran them underneath this ram cover, and just bundled up the excess wire here, wrapped it around right there, and then here's the Bluetooth box. And today, I'm just installing the rear 4. I had to wait for extension wires to be able to do those. So I've got a temporary zip tie right here so the truck was drivable in case you needed it. So I've got these 4 connectors. Just need to cut this zip tie and run this over here with this one. Run the wires down to the ground down there, and we'll start there. And just in case you're curious, I've got it powered on the side of the terminal instead of on this bolt, and then I've got it grounded right there. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the extension wires. I will leave a link in the description to these specific lights if you're interested in getting this same set. These are RGBW lights from Mike Tuning on Amazon. These are just extension wires. I'll go grab the pods real quick. Here's your lights. I had a set of their RGBW lights on my truck for about a year. They lasted the whole time, never gave me any issues. They were plenty bright. I just recently got a sponsor for different lights, so that's the only reason I got rid of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the end of my cables here and go ahead and hook up my extensions to the end of the wires. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up each wire individually, make sure all my lights are getting good power. I'm gonna fish them down through the engine bay, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, just like that, I've got all 4 connected to my harness. All right, coming over here, if you look down next to your dipstick, there's a gap that goes straight down, and you can see the catalytic converter right there. You just want to kind of fish them down right over this wire right here. Just fish them straight down that way. Sorry that's a terrible view, but it's the only place I can find to set my phone. So I'm just gonna do them about like that, just where I can get under the truck and grab them. And we're gonna move under the truck and pull them the rest of the way. All right, so I'm laying right underneath the catalytic converter that I talked about. Just gonna reach up, grab them, pull them through. Just like that, and just pull the wires. So, here's the 2 wires that I fished down that I was gonna originally use for the passenger side, but I'm gonna use those for the driver's side now. So I've actually got my passenger side running underneath my power cable up, and I'm gonna zip tie them to, I'm gonna run a zip tie through each one of these little pins right here. I'm gonna run a zip tie through it and hold the wires to each one of these all the way across underneath this panel. So real clean, and then stop them here, and then they run straight down. There's a bigger gap on this side, so it'll be much easier to do. And I'll get under the truck and show you where to go from there. All right, so from down here, that's where I came from. As you can see, your catalytic converter is pretty close, so you don't want them coming in contact with that heat that close. So we're gonna run them up on top of the frame up here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start zip tying to all these. In this rear wheel well, you've got a 2-piece plastic liner. The customer I'm working for said that he does not want holes in the metal of the bed. So he said to go ahead and put one all the way up at the top of the plastic as high as I can. And then same thing on this side, all the way up here at the top. And come back and disconnect from your extension wires. I connected these in the beginning just to be sure that I would have plenty of wire, and so I could go ahead and get everything ran correctly. Go ahead and disconnect these. That way you can push these wires through the wheel well plastic. That way you have no wires showing in your wheel well. And on the side of the wheel well that's closer to the front of the truck, all 7mm bolts. Take this one out. I can't find my 7mm, so I'm using a 5/16, which will work perfect as well. So if you can't find your 5/16 will do it. You've got 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get out. Actually, it looks like that bottom one, yeah, you don't need to take that bottom one out. I'll be able to do what I need to do just by taking out this top one, just because I have so much slack on this already. You can still remove these if you need to take it all the way out. It's gonna go about right here. I just need to drill the hole for this wire to go through. So now I can run my wire through this hole. Just gonna push it down enough until I see it hanging underneath the truck, just like that. And I'm gonna go down here and pull it the rest of the way through. I'm gonna get my drill bit for the bolts that hold the light in. I'm gonna drill one hole right here. Get one of the bolts. I'm gonna take it and push it through the hole that I just drilled. Grab one of my nuts, reach back here and feel for the bolt and get this nut threaded on. Get my next nut and bolt. Right, now I'm going to tighten the 2 bolts. All right, just like that. Put the bolts that held the liner back in. Like that. Got this rock light done. Time to move on to this side. I'm gonna go ahead and drill the big hole for the wire. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten both of these up. We're just gonna take this wire that we have pulled over, and we're gonna drop it behind it right here. We'll use this little hole right here as a spot to tie this wire. I'm gonna try and get this wire pulled as tight as I can. That way it's not sagging down over here, because you'll be able to see it just a little bit. If you get it pulled tight, it'll kind of blend in. Now go to the end of that wire and fish it over here, over all your suspension parts and your axle, and then just tuck it right here for now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my 2 wires and reconnect them. All right, so as I said earlier, on this passenger side, since these wires are so close to your catalytic converter, we're gonna throw them up over the frame to this side. Just like that. So now, as you can see, they're not even close to the catalytic converter. They go right there on the other side of the frame. All right, I'm gonna zip tie these wires up off camera. I advise working from front to back. That's just a personal preference, but I've always had better luck doing it that way. So, all right, I'm not gonna do this side as in depth as I did on the other side. It'll just be the same process to do on this side. So I'm just gonna time lapse it.